I'll start with what I think is the greatest example of thinking about power strategically in the history of the United States since World War II. A formulation of U.S. interests and how to proceed in the world that effectively won the Cold War and got us to where we are now. And that was the strategy put together by Harry Truman, Secretary of State George Marshall, Secretary of State after him, Dean Acheson. These people looked at a world that was still totally Euro-centered. And the United States, as you remember, demobilized its troops almost instantly. We went from an army of 5 million to an army of 100,000 in no time at all. And the Soviet Union occupied all of Eastern Europe. The Communist Chinese were battling Chiang Kai-shek in China and were clearly winning, coming to power there. And there was a lot of pressure here in the United States to go after them, to start another war, remobilize, confront them. And they looked at this situation very hard, and what they decided was this, that the most important thing to the United States, as a democracy, as an economy, as a world power, was our economy. And the most important thing for the countries we wanted to have as future allies was their economy, because that would be the basis of political stability in those societies. So instead of remobilizing ourselves, they spent actually quite little on the military budget, and they force-fed an aid program in Europe and in Japan, a Marshall Plan and no-name plan for Japan, that really rebuilt those economies. In 10 years, they were becoming good, strong economies again, from absolute devastation. And key, of course, was the restoration of the German and Japanese economy and the establishment of democracies in both those countries. Because they realized that if we could actually do this, if we could turn Germany and Japan into vibrant, democratic economies, that we would be unbeatable. That if you added the economic, military, and diplomatic power of Germany, Japan, and the United States together, that no country would have a chance of beating us. That we would have 75, 80% of the assets in the world. And that's what they concentrated on doing. It was the most brilliant strategic decision in the history of our foreign policy, and it was the basis of our winning the Cold War. Put together all those international institutions, the World Bank, the UN, NATO, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trades, and didn't run them as dictators, but ran them as leaders. And they put together such a powerful coalition that even though we had all sorts of setbacks during the Cold War, including soon thereafter the loss of China itself, we won the Cold War. The Soviet Union collapsed, and China became one of our major economic partners. That's how good it was. And it was strategic thinking at its finest, and it was understanding American power at its core. Because they understood very clearly and quite explicitly that the stability of our society depended upon our economy being vibrant and growing, and they understood quite explicitly that the basis of our power in the world was our economy. That if we wanted to have military capability, we needed a strong economy. If we wanted our voice to count in the world, we needed a strong economy. And they put that together.